We need to change the
ending, but we did it. We do have our new logo here, lit with Lenin. And yesterday I bought myself a scarf, a Soviet Union scarf. So it says that what does it say? Proletari всех стран соединяйтесь, or workers of the world unite.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Now, what are you bringing me back from Russia?
You want that?
50 years now.
I can bring you back anything you want. So just tell me what.
All right. Okay, I will.
Okay.
Happy Year.
Go ahead. Where we will invite our guest once more. Where is he? Okay. Oh well, he'll come in a few minutes.
Soon, yeah.
Okay, so we were looking at Jeremy Corbyn's telegram, and this is what he said. So let's just read this. He said, "Happy Chinese New Year. Today marks the beginning of the Year of the Rabbit, the symbol of longevity, prosperity, and peace. Islington is home to a vibrant Chinese community. Wishing you all a hopeful and joyful year ahead."
Yes. What could have been? That's what we were talking about before we started the show.
Nomo Papo said, "Welcome to Lit with Lenin. Like, subscribe, and if you haven't already, if you can, send a super chat to support the content." Thank you so much, Nono Papo. Happy Year of the Rabbit and Fox. I don't understand. Okay.
No, that's the tiger, I think, isn't it?
Tiger, sorry. Which country is tiger? Is the Year of the Tiger?
I don't know. Were we coming out of the Year of the Tiger?
I don't know.
And Happy Bunny. Happy Bunny.
Happy Bunny. This is the Year of the Happy Rabbits. Happy Bunny.
Oh, and cat. Oh, so it's the Year of the Rabbit and the cat.
Year of the Rabbit and cat. Interesting.
I was thinking because we were coming out of tiger, right?
I don't know.
I had a 5th grade teacher who was Chinese, and we did actually. It was really cool because her class every year would celebrate the Lunar New Year, and we would do. We got to. Well, she already had like the dragon costume, and some of us got to go into the dragon, but we would have to make we'd make cookies, and we'd make these little pretend money. And then we'd hand them out, and then we'd go through the hallway, and they'd throw the stuff. So it was kind of neat being in 5th grade, learning, some of that. And it kind of stuck with me because I ended up taking Chinese Civ in college too, because in high school and in college, because it was interesting to me.
Yeah, I mean, I remember watching an X-Files episode. It was about this practice of hell money, where they would burn some fake money so that people had to pay off the devil. I don't know. But this is from an X-Files episode, and I have no idea if it has any basis in truth.
Yeah, I don't remember everything. I mean, we learned a lot about it. I don't remember everything about it, but it's very interesting. I find. I don't know. I always found that when I found out when I was younger that for the Catholics to go in there, the Christians to go in there and Christianize China, they actually had to make an allowance for them to keep their other religions Like that was the
also okay, sorry. Matt says I also joined the stream. It seems like I didn't. So let's I don't understand. Okay, we'll wait. Okay, he'll come.
before the pandemic. I would go to a Chinese restaurant that did the dragon nail. It's kind of, I mean, it's kind of fun. I never seen like they do the parades and like the the Chinatowns and stuff like that. Like they'll do that one down in Boston, which I've never gone to, but it's kind of neat. But on that, like,
Okay, let me give him a team invite. Maybe. I don't know. I can't give team invite right now. Okay, I'll have to give him a guest invite for now.
should.
Okay, we'll figure this out. Maybe.
Do you have the link for the guest invite?
I've joined it. I've joined it 3 times. I can't. Weird. I don't know what to do.
Is he on his phone maybe? And there has to be an app or something? I don't know. I'm not sure, but
Okay. Well,
oh,
yes, finally. Okay. Welcome, Matt.
all right. Now you gotta fix your mic.
We have to make yourself louder. This is maybe what we need for his.
Yeah, that'll work because then he's not going to be on screen. So,
can you make yourself louder, Matt?
sorry for getting the technical.
By the way, at least my video is fixed. You can't see my ISO or how big my aperture is, or
yes, Asha did fix her camera.
Yeah,
we're gonna work on the focusing next time.
Yeah, I'm so sorry, I'm blurry.
Just a little bit. You're not as blurry as you are.
Okay, good. I don't know what to do. I'm trying my best.
All right, Matt.
Whoa,
can you try?
Wait, Pilgrim said, Matt, can you make yourself louder somehow?
Uh-oh, he's gone.
Okay.
He'll be back. But anyhow, so yeah, so I don't know. Did you like I thought it was so weird that we didn't hear much on the Monterey Park like for hours. We were talking about that. We all found out.
Okay, perfect. Okay, what was the setting we used last time? This one.
Yeah.
Okay, let me make you louder. Okay, can you say something?
I'm not even hearing them.
I hear a vague sound.
Yeah, I hear like a
Привет, диктатура рабочего класса, как дела? Я тоже в России. Yes, we hear you now. Я тоже в России. Сейчас я в Санкт-Петербурге.
There we go.
All right. Hello, how are you doing?
Oh, I'm not bad.
Yeah, you're breaking up a lot. I don't know why.
I have no idea why my connection's fine.
Your connection's fine. Okay, well, try closing some. I don't know what to say, but stay on, and I'm sure it'll fix itself if you just stay on.
Yeah.
Don't leave.
Don't leave. You're stuck.
Yeah.
All right. So what were we gonna do today? We were
going to okay. So AOC, I have a lot of her AOCIA videos here, but AOC had a word salad. And
surprise.
And so we will share that word. Do you guys like AOCIA or CIAAO? No. CIAOC. I know. You can either do AOCIA or you can do CIAOC. Which one is better? We should have a poll.
One's like chowk. Chowk.
It's the worst version of Old McDonald I've ever heard.
Uh-oh. Now we lost Asha. It's going to be one of them shows.
And where is the AOC transmission? It
I
did
don't-
not.
You want me to try to save it? Share it. It just didn't work the last time when I shared.
Okay, hold on. Let me try sharing it in a different way. Okay, here it is. Let's try it now. Can you hear it? I'll hit play.
And it really goes to show how much you need of a coalition in order to really
Sorry.
forcefully negotiate for these things. So when people say, why don't we do this? First of all,
okay. So are you able to hear her when you are you guys fuck.
Are you guys here? We just need to know if the audience on YouTube can hear.
Okay, can the audience hear her?
They probably can.
Okay. Okay, let's hit play then. Okay, so let's get started. She's talking. So about 2 years ago, a lot of people, including Jimmy Dore, apparently suggested that she have a condition where, in order for her to vote for Pelosi as Speaker of the House, they need to make sure that there's a floor vote on Medicare for all. That way, Democrats, you can see which Democrats really mean it, which ones have total BS and whatnot, and so forth. Anyways, AOC said that was not a good idea for a number of reasons, which was essentially. And then what we realized is that the GOP Extreme Caucus is playing hardball with Kevin McCarthy, and they made him bring some scrap. They actually asked for a lot of things in exchange for them to vote for him as a speaker, and that's why it took 11 tries for him to become Speaker of the House, because they were playing extreme hardball. And this is AOC trying to stave off her critics in why she was right to say no to the whatever nonsense. So here we hit play. Okay.
and it really goes to show how much you need of a coalition in order to really forcefully negotiate for these things. So when people say, why don't we do this? First of all, there's a lot of cost and dysfunction. Second of all, those people who are holding out right now, they may have made certain structural gains, but they have also made incredible reputational and relational harm within their caucus. And so if you...
Who fucking cares about the relational harms within your fucking caucus?
Who the fuck? Like, seriously, you should be disagreeing with people. You should be fighting for change of what you think the people that you are there to represent need. You should be always fighting for that.
What she means by that is that the DNC won't basically fund her re-election campaign until back primary challenger.
Okay, Matt, we can't actually hear or understand you. I don't know what you. Okay.
I don't want to that at all.
Huh?
I don't like Ellen at all.
He doesn't like melon app at all.
Okay. I don't. We'll have to figure something out for later. Then. Oh my God. Okay, this is annoying. We'll figure something out. I guess. Type it into the chat. Type it into our chat or Telegram if you want to say something for now. I guess I don't know what to say. We'll figure something out. Maybe it's. I don't know if it's. I don't know. Okay.
Yeah,
So,
I don't know if it's the phone. We've had other people on phones on here.
Yeah. So I don't know if it's your connection.
It's not my connection. It's fine. I like calling on Zoom or something.
Yeah, I don't
know. Okay, so maybe I don't know. We'll figure something out. Okay, so let's continue.
you are trying to get something done within your caucus moving forward, you still need members of your caucus. And that at the core is an element of electoral politics that is simply inescapable. Even when you look at someone like Bernie Sanders' tenure in the House, where he was the amendment king, you needed your party to pass your amendments.
Okay, this is based on an entirely flawed assumption. Nomo Popo said he sounded great on Colin yesterday. He did. So I don't know why, but
I don't even have an option to write anything in a stream.
It's something to do with the Melon app is basically what we're.
okay.
So we'd either have to move to a different app or, like we don't want to do. We want to keep lit with Lenin on video. So
yeah, we'll
have
figure something out, I guess, for next time, unless you can leave and come back or something. I don't know what to do. We'll figure this out for next time.
I mean, I can start doing OBS again. I don't mind doing that.
Okay, we'll figure this out for next time.
Okay.
Because we can't really do much right now.
Yeah, I know.
Okay.
Right. So with her, what I'm
just type in what he wants to say in the private chat or something, or maybe on Telegram, and then we can read it out.
Okay. I want to also bring up with this that go back to 2000, was it 19 or 18 that she was actually talking about forcing a vote. Like she was actually talking about it as a good thing. Like
entire thing is based on a flawed logic. The problem is that Congress is not representing the people. So even when 80 to 90, God knows how a large percentage of the people want something, and this is a bloody democracy, it means what the people want should translate to law, to policy, to bills. Yeah. So her task is to prove to Congress, to prove to the American people that these frackers in Congress are not representing you. Look, there's this extremely popular bill. Nobody bleeping wants. Nobody is going to come up with nobody's going to do shit. Even though, and so it's not about the relationship with. It's not about convincing idiots within your caucus to do the right thing, because they will never do that. It's like the Tsarist Duma, and it brings up to our segue to our piece. But let's continue a little bit before we bring up our piece.
You know, you have this faction that is in a lot of trouble moving forward, including despite having made certain structural gains.
Oh, fuck, sorry.
A lot of people, I mean, this was like very bloody. Like, think of it like a really bloody bar fight. Like, no one comes out with all their teeth, without any broken noses. Like, you know, everyone has had some blood drawn, and we haven't even been sworn in yet. As opposed to the Democratic caucus. Now, the strength here, when you are in a minority, the play here is to be united as much as possible, because if you don't have people who break,
they're uniting with
you're what? Okay,
uniting together.
Exactly. And let us look at. Oh my God! I just want to read Lenin's on unity right now. Because I know this is not planned, but it's not very long. And oh my God, uniting under what? There is no unity okay, Lenin on unity. Okay, unity is a great thing and a great slogan, but what the workers' cause needs is the unity of Marxists, and not unity between Marxists and opponents and distorters of Marxism. We must ask everyone who talk about unity with whom? With the liquidators? If so, we have nothing to do with each other. But it is a question of genuine Marxist unity, we shall say. Ever since the Pravdist newspapers appeared, we have been calling for the unity of all forces of Marxism, for unity from below, for unity in practical activities. No flirting with liquidators, no diplomatic negotiations with groups of wreckers of the corporate body. Concentrate all efforts on rallying the Marxist workers around Marxist slogans and around the entire Marxist body. Class-conscious workers will regard as a crime any attempt to impose upon them the will of the liquidators. They will
joined.
What's going on?
Okay. Oh, I have to add him. I see now. Okay, so I'm so sorry.
That's okay.
Okay.
Ooh, we hear you, Matt.
Did you say?
Darn. Okay. So I guess for today you'll have to use Telegram. How about you comment and then we will read it out loud on Telegram for now. I don't know what to say. I'm so sorry. Okay, let's continue. No flirting. Okay, the will regard as a crime any attempt to impose upon them the will of the liquidators. They will also regard as a crime the fragmentation of forces of genuine Marxists. For the basis of unity is class discipline. Recognition, this part's important. Recognition of the will of the majority and concentrated activities in the ranks of and in step with that majority. We shall never tire of calling all the workers towards this unity, this discipline, these concerted activities.
Mm-hmm. Yes, so you don't want to unite with the a-holes who are going to put the boot on your frigging neck. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
The ones that don't want to do any change. So she's talking about, oh, we need to stay united. Okay, you're staying united with the party that you promised to fight against, to bring us, to actually go in there and change it from the inside. That's what all these progressives promised, that they were going there and they were going to change the Democratic Party for us. And they're not.
They're not. And this is the bullshit. Like, yeah, what kind of unity is this bullshit? Okay, let's continue.
Then you can pick off the other side with just a matter of a handful of people. So as long as Democrats don't, remain united in a minority, then all the votes you need to win on a certain thing are, depending on how a margin is, 3, 4, or 5.
Okay, but then why does she vote for bills to arm Nazis in Ukraine Why does she use to vote like 430 to 4 to 1 or 433 to 1 or 0? And this is just BS because it's like not like the Democrats want to do anything useful, and it's not like you can't always find the right number of Democratic traitors to vote on any ghoulish measure. There's always a rotating villain like Joe Manchin, Kristen Sinema, whoever other idiots. Yeah, like
it's always by the numbers. They know exactly how many they need if they actually want to pass it. They know exactly, who will take the hit to not pass it. And it's more than just.
It's always going to be somebody in like a district that there's no chance they will lose because they own it like a mafia.
Yeah. So they use people like Durbin, like in the House of Representatives. They have a whole bunch of them. A lot of their last names start with D.
Yeah,
Durbin,
at least CIA agents.
Yeah. So there's a bunch of them that will do this, that will, stop a bill. But it would be nice that what is the Progressive Caucus, like 20 of them, something like that?
Yeah, but that's the thing is that there's such a thing. There's a role called the whip. There's a majority whip and a minority whip, and the role of the whip is to make sure that you have for any bill that you bring into Congress to whip your caucus and put it the right way. So the Speaker of the House does not have to bring in any bill that he does not know exactly how many he has votes, whether it'll pass or not. It's all a game. It's not like they're spontaneous. They're like, oh, I don't know how these. No, they can go ask them, hey, how are you going to go and do lots of wheeling and dealing. So it is like total BS in that, it's not like you can spontaneously pick off things if Kevin McCarthy doesn't want. Like, he doesn't have to even bring that bill. If you're going to pick off 5 GOPs allegedly, Kevin McCarthy does not have to bring that bill to Congress.
No.
To vote.
Nope.
Okay,
And
let's
Nancy
continue.
chose her bills to vote on too. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
And people say Lauren Boebert has more spine than you. Lauren Boebert won her race by 500 votes. Lauren Boebert took a Trump plus 9 district and nearly lost it to an up-and-coming Democrat as an incumbent member of Congress. Lauren Boebert is dramatically weakened.
How? She is still in the bloody
Yeah.
Congress. She's not dramatically weakened at all. She's still in the bloody, and the fact that she apparently is willing to whip Kevin McCarthy like a whole play
Well,
hardball, but she has only 500 votes, shows you that she definitely has more spine than you.
Yep. She has as much power as AOC has. Like AOC is trying to say she's lost. No, she right now for the next 2 years has as much power. Yep. So
and then everything resets for next time. So it doesn't matter if you win by one. Oh, who was it? Dick Gephardt. Was it? No. Was it Dick? It was not Dick Gephardt. He was from North Dakota or South Dakota.
But one.
He was a congressperson from one of the Dakotas.
Oh, I don't know.
He was pretty progressive at first, but then he totally sold out. I can't remember.
I don't know who you're talking about. Sorry.
Okay, he lost in Dick, but he's not Dick Gephardt. He was a congressperson from one of the Dakotas.
Yeah.
Anyways, his first election he won by one vote, and then his nickname was Landslide. But then he still became, or maybe he was a senator. I can't remember. His name was maybe Dick. One of the Dick. I don't remember. Okay, it doesn't matter. One of the Dicks from one of the Dakotas.
Dick from
what?
Dick from one of the Dakotas.
Yeah, he could have been the Senate Majority Leader or the Speaker or the House Speaker. I can't remember.
I can't spell. I'm having trouble typing. I'm trying to look up who it is.
Okay, Dick. If you look it up, it's Dick from one of the Dakotas. He either was a.
And when about was this?
Tom Daschle.
Oh, Daschle. All right. I'm sorry.
Sorry, I don't know why I kept on thinking Dick.
Dick. Yeah, I was stuck on the Dick. Well, there's a lot of Dicks in there too, so.
Yeah. Okay. Tom Daschle from one of the Dakotas. I forgot which, but he won his first election by one vote, and then the joke was calling him landslide, but it did not matter because the next election he won by a lot, and then he won 5 more elections before he lost. But he was so it does not matter if you win by 1 vote or 5,000 votes or 8 million votes.
Yeah,
it's still the same starting point.
And actually, so her vote, she won by 500 on the last election, but now she did right by her people and stood up against her, the power.
Way more volunteers.
She's going to actually get more votes because people are going to see that she, the people that like her, that may have voted, might be like, oh, well, she will stand up for the people, and that's what's going to happen.
Or at least whatever her people are.
Yeah.
But at least she'll get some press attention, which will help with fundraising at least.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So let's continue.
And the people of Colorado nearly sent her packing. If 500 people voted differently that day, this would not be happening right now. And so, if you're a Republican, if you're a hard-standing Republican, she almost cost you your majority.
What?
And if it, frankly, wasn't for the New York State Democratic Party and the New York State Democratic Party's leadership and the incompetence there, we would be having that gavel right now. If between them and Lauren Boebert, we would be having a Democratic majority at this moment. Ooh. So, this idea that they are somehow winning, let's just also take a step back and observe that none of these debates resulted in any policy substance. None. This is not a...
Well, they did get themselves choice committees, and then when you're on the committee, you can pigeonhole whatever bill you want.
Exactly. And didn't AOC get thrown off a committee?
Yeah.
She could have made the stand and got got into a committee and stood her ground there, but no,
Yeah.
she was thrown out of a committee, not fighting for stuff. Like they just dropped her out of something. So like she's sitting there saying like it doesn't even make sense what she's saying because the voting happened back in November. This happened in January. So how is it weak? Like how would they have lost it? Like they wouldn't have lost it because it happened in January. Like they already have majority.
None of this actually makes sense. Hold on, let's continue.
Caucus that is organized, the Freedom Caucus is not organized around any core policy issue. Progressives, we organize around Medicare for all. We organize around
No, you don't. Okay, organizing is code for creating a big group of working class people to create a red army in order to get, you know what I mean? So she is not organized. The progressive, heck, they haven't even bloody formed a voting bloc. Like they are not voting together as a bloc. They just vote randomly on each one. There's no bloody voting bloc to at least oppose Nazis in Ukraine. Like they're not even a bloc.
Nomo Popo saying you have to fail upward to get the perks of being imperialist.
Yep, she is a big upward. Oh, I mean, she's not a fail as in she is support. She is really doing what the imperialists want. And that, like, if you look at any of the foreign policy bills, it passes through Congress, and the only dissenting vote 9 out of 10 times is Thomas Massey and nobody else. Right?
Yeah. Yes. And wait, Justin's talking about how that they need only the two parties because they can only have the two parties because they have to perpetuate this illusion, which is true because that is why they go so hard. Even like I don't think the Green Party is a very strong party, but I've always voted for them because I always, since like the 90s when I first started voting, had in my head that we needed a third party or,
In for
Hello?
Hey, can you hear me?
Yes! Oh, you sound great. What'd you do differently?
I just set it up on my laptop instead of my phone.
Oh, thank you.
So yeah, I guess because like I checked it out and they don't have a mobile app for this thing yet, so like I'm not really surprised that they don't know how to get it to work with phones.
Yes, I get that.
Perfect. Well, welcome back, and I'm glad you're here, so you can.
So what I was trying to say, like originally, and I know I'm probably like throwing this like way back in time, is like when
it's 5 minutes is not way back in time.
Okay. When she did her whole thing about people like ruining like their like reputations or relationships like with these other jackasses or whatever. What she's talking about there is a euphemism for if we act up like this or whatever, then the DNC won't fund our re-election bids. Yeah. They'll bankroll our primary challengers.
Yeah, someone in the chat was talking about civility. So yeah.
Yeah. And the thing about it is that AOC does not need that because she has so many individual donors. Unfortunately, she gave a lot of the money individual donors who like paid money through their nose and teeth. Like CIA agents in the Democratic caucus.
She's also in like one of honestly like the safest congressional districts in the country. Like the only thing she has to worry about is like a primary challenge, but a establishment Democrat, like somebody that the DNC would be willing to fund, isn't going to make any headway in the freaking Bronx.
Yeah.
So someone said, oh wait, you brought up Dimitri's mobilization.
Oh, can you read? Okay, mobilization is temporary while organization is permanent, eternal. The task of revolutionaries is to bring the unconscious who are mobilized into organization. Otherwise, the enemy will use mobilization to demobilize us. Yes, He is right and wise always. I love Kwame Ture.
Yeah. And then Amir Babar is saying, oops.
Hold on.
No,
Where?
I get it.
He-
I love when people say voting third party is throwing away your vote. Votes only have use importance if you can withhold the. Sorry, it's not showing.
If you can withhold them, he's right. Amir Babar, right? Exactly. Yeah, it's total BS. Okay, let's continue.
Green New Deal, like those concessions that even if it's not all the whole farm all at once, but the building blocks to get us there, that's what we fight for and fight towards.
What bloody building blocks? There are no building blocks to get you there. There's a bill, you pass it or not, and there is literally no building blocks. It's either
this isn't a gradient.
Yeah, it's a law. It's either happens or no, does not pass. There is no intermediaries, no building blocks. It's just there or not there.
And going back to what Amir was saying about like throwing away your vote with like, okay, so voting third party is throwing away your vote because votes only have power if you can withhold them. Well, okay, so not throwing away my vote on people that deliver zero results is somehow like what? Like like developing my vote?
Yeah.
What's the logic here?
There is no logic. Actually, Stalin makes a comment about this, like in his like letter to the American communists, where he says, like, yeah, they don't call it a wasted vote when you give it to other bourgeoisie parties. It's only a wasted vote when you give it to a workers' party, is what he says.
Yeah,
Exactly.
yeah, it's not wasting your vote to like vote for bourgeois parties that don't deliver. Like that's fine. Like that's a good investment on your vote.
Exactly. Okay, let's continue.
But these folks, they're negotiating around committee assignments for themselves.
Yes.
Certain rules changes. Not all of them are bad, mind you, but not all of them are good either. And they're really organized around grievance. And so, I think sometimes people conflate the necessary.
The bad and the good thing. The bad and the good thing, like she's saying they're good, but they're also bad. Well, that's perception. Like it can be really good for all of them. Could be really good for them. So, like you saying it's bad doesn't matter.
Committee assignments for yourself is good because if you're the lead of the committee, you can pigeonhole whatever you want. You can write up whatever crap you want and put it in. Of course, the Speaker of the House does not, even if the committee decides not to recommend something, the Speaker of the House does not have to bring it to the floor. But you can but you can use that to show how useless and how much of a dictatorship of one it is if the Speaker of the House can arbitrarily decide which he or she can always do. And that's why the entire U.S. Congress is like a biggest sham of pomp and circumstance and not actually a democratic body. In the Labour Party, in the British Parliament, you can't do that. There are certain bills that have to be brought up if a certain number of MPs co-sign or something like that. There's like a whole bunch of things. Same with the Indian Parliament, or Australian Parliament. But
in the UK though, it's I was seeing and I was talking to someone about this that is from the UK. It's pretty boils down to like a two-party system too, right? Like even though they have different factions,
they have two. Well, I mean, but what happens is that you can always break with the coalition. So when that happens, you lose your majority, and you have to have another election. So, so you have a majority
it's
coalition.
definitely set up better, but it's still kind of boils down to the two parties. But what you're saying, like the parliamentarians, they're what do they call there? I'm sorry.
Parliament. Members of Parliament.
The members of Parliament. Oh, the mops. Yeah.
The mops.
The mops.
Yeah. Mops, yeah.
So they're they seem to there always seems to be like more fight in them than in the US. Do you know what I'm saying? Like I see it more.
There is, and definitely that's the thing is that, for example, the Tories have these cycles called the Dominion Unionist Party that make up about 8 people. Well, when they leave, what happens is that you have to try to reorganize a coalition again. And so and you can have, and if you can't organize a coalition, you might have to dissolve the parliament and have a new election. So it's always less stable. So that always makes people a little bit more responsive. And it works better. I mean, it is still a bourgeoisie parliament, but
Yes.
it's a lot better of a bourgeoisie. There are gradients in bourgeoisie parliament.
Yeah.
Yeah, well,
And-
something to remember. Like, I mean, you can like look like all over the world, like from Ireland, not so much in England, but like from Ireland to Thailand, even actual fistfights and riots will break out like inside parliaments.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
But like nothing like even like remotely similar to that ever happens in the U.S. Either the House of Reps or the Senate's like they don't even like yell at each other really.
Yeah. Except for some of the first ones, because that guy that beat the other guy with a stick.
Yeah,
That
like
was good. Like,
way
you gotta
back,
bring that back.
yeah,
Well,
way
I
back
remember
when.
in Macedonia one year, I forgot they like were trying to delay bringing up a bill, so they tear gassed the parliament. I can't remember which bill, but I do remember in Macedonia there was like one of the parties let out tear gas so they wouldn't bring up a bill.
Like, honestly, they should be, our representatives should be living in a little fear. Like, they really should. They should be like a little fear of the people. We're going to like, and they're not. They're bougie and comfy, and they don't care. Like, they don't care that the people are suffering, and they're just
no. I mean, like it's mathematically quantifiable that public opinion or public will, whatever you want to call it, has no effect on legislation passed. This was a Princeton study that compared public opinion polling with all legislation passed over like pretty much like at the time that would be like Reagan terms 1 through 9.
Yeah.
I think was the area that like the times they covered.
And
if there was any correlation between public opinion and public policy, it was almost like a negative correlation. but it was still like statistically negligible. Like absolutely nothing.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, let's continue with AOC's word salad. It's only 2 more minutes.
Outside organizing with the internal work of legislating. And the fact of the matter is you cannot do one without the other. I mean, I do think there's a decent amount of organizing you can do outside of legislative goals. There's plenty.
Oh my God. I'm going to scream. There is no organizing that can be done with legislative goals inside the bourgeoisie parliament. Organizing is organizing a red army.
Oh God.
So
organizing like outside of legislative goals, like meaning like what? Like
direct action.
Yeah, like I mean, I'm pretty sure she doesn't want that.
No,
Yeah.
she doesn't.
She doesn't want that, but that is, I mean, if the Congress is literally, if you have one of the founding fathers says the purpose of our government is to protect those with property from those without, and it's been going on for about 200x years, to me it seems like it's probably a very well-designed system in order to protect those with property from those without.
Right.
Anyways, so I just don't think it can be done. But whatever what is she? Okay, so organizing is only her thing of like organizing protesters or voters. I don't know what she's organizing, but whatever she's organizing is only useful in a body that is responsive to what people think, and they don't.
She's speaking to her DSAers, and she's putting out there like
word salad.
Be civil and just organize in the way that is civil.
Yeah, no, that's it. Like, if I would say like everything that's coming out of her mouth, like when I was reading the transcript of this before I saw the video, I was thinking that it was reading like it was generated by an AI, except like most people who make AIs don't generally write the Python with their assholes. And so, But like this is just like this is unbelievable. It's like she's just occasionally like glancing over at a word cloud that was like generated after focus grouping the DSAites. Like
Yeah, that's exactly what. Yeah, so I don't know what she's organizing. If she's organizing a block of voters, I don't. God knows what she's organizing.
like any subject verb agreement here seems like a minor miracle. Like I don't even know like how to put it. I'm not trying to be like mean about this or anything. This is an honest assessment of it.
Yep, chat AOC. Exactly. Like she's definitely a chatbot here. Okay.
You can unionize your workplace. You can do all sorts of stuff. But the idea that you can push and emphasize legislative goals without an outside, that part I think is untenable.
I also agree with that we should burn down the parliament.
Yes, the only time the legislative goals inside a bourgeoisie parliament happen only because you are afraid that the Bolsheviks are going to come and storm Winter Palace.
Yeah, or like even like going and like here in the United States, it'll be more likely to go in the other direction where we'll have the gunpowder plot to install a Catholic theocracy, but still same principle.
Yeah.
Old Guido Fawkes entering parliament with honest intentions.
Yeah, no, but I'm saying that the only time, like, for example, even in Tsarist Russia, the reason why the Tsar abdicated is because the Bolsheviks really, like, had so many strikes that they cut down the I can't think of the word for this. What is this thing? This is the weapon. This one. Get it? Look. This is it's like this. It's an old weapon. They had to do this all the time.
Well, when you had to pull back the shotgun,
yeah.
Okay, the barrel. The barrel.
Yeah, this factory, which like jammed up all the guns in the middle of a world war.
If we ever play charades, I don't want you as a partner.
Yeah, no. Like I was thinking, like it's like, okay, are we fencing? Is this a spear? Like I was not thinking gun factory.
I love you, Ashley, but I don't want you as a trade partner.
Okay, let me see. Okay, what else? Okay, give me something to pretend to act as, and then I will see if I
No. We've established that this is not happening.
Okay.
Wing of the Democratic Party also organizes on the outside for their internal goals, but they do it with money. And as progressives, we have to do it with people. And so, when you have a base that
Lenin and
focuses
Stalin robbed
most
banks.
of its ire towards the people.
What'd you say?
Oh, she said that we can't do it with money. We have to do it with people. I said, well, Lenin and Stalin did rob that bank.
Yeah, they did bloody rob a bank, so they had both money and people. It's called the Great Tbilisi Bank Robbery, bank heist.
No, I will say, in case like anybody's getting like some bright ideas about this, like just so like you're fully aware, pretty much no bank has any more than $7,500 in cash on them at any point, except for the banks that have like the underground vaults that like don't open at will. You have to do it on like a set timer, and like that's when like any like necessary maintenance and like restocking happens. Those banks are few and far between.
No, we
so you have to wrap them. Have you seen this really awesome Spanish TV show called Money Heist?
God, I hate that title.
Okay, it's called Casa del Papel, where they go and rob the mint where they print money.
I was thinking that we need to do a good old Office Space thing and write a program that only gives like 1 penny at a time, and then we're stealing it from all the banks.
Didn't somebody like recently like get busted?
Yeah, there was a guy I think out west that was doing it or something.
Yeah, wasn't that part of like the Bankman-Fried like antitrust thing? Like
it wasn't even that much. I think it was only like 7,000. I don't know. It wasn't.
Well, even still, like if you're doing it with like like fractions, like rounding down like fractions of a penny, like oh wow, that's actually like if I was going to do anything like that, what I would say to look towards is when paper currency gets like worn out and starts to lose some of its crispness, they just burn that shit.
Yep.
Like so, like just go to where they're burning it.
Yeah, and grab it.
My father, when he was in the army, they took this. They were testing something, but they took bricks of $10 bills, and they put it in there, and they blew it up. But what happened is like it only like fried some of the edges and stuff. So my father still has like a little piece of the $10 bill that came floating.
Oh, that's
down
nice.
in the army, and he grabbed it.
Oh, and
some of them made out with full bills that were enough to like.
Yeah, and here's the thing with U.S. currency anyway. As long as the serial number on one side of the bill is fully visible, it's still legal currency.
You only need half the bill. Like it's like 50.1% of the bill you need.
Yeah, you have to be able to just make out the full serial number on one side. That's the actual criteria.
Yeah. Okay. So you have to go figure out. Yeah, you have to watch the movie Money Heist and figure out where they're printing the money and then rob that place.
Yeah, there we go. Also, this is a satirical program for comedy effect. We are not advocating.
No, we are not. Do not rob any. No.
Do not rob the U.S. Treasury. Do not steal the Declaration of Independence.
Don't.
That was another movie by Nicolas Cage, right?
The National Treasure.
Yeah, no. This is what we need to do. All our revolutionary activity henceforth is based entirely on the plot of Nicolas Cage movies.
Awesome.
He's our new Lenin.
I'm for this. I'm so for this.
Yeah, that was a good movie too.
CP the CPSU, not the B.
Okay, let's continue.
People on their side because YouTube algorithms reward that. You're just playing into the hands of the capitalists who run those algorithms. And so I'm not saying that.
Wait. Well, what is this YouTube algorithm nonsense? How do I want to play into the hands of capitalists who run the YouTube algorithms to get more? Like, what is she saying?
Yeah, like I don't quite understand. Like go back a little bit just so I can follow that. Like,
okay.
Base that focuses most of its ire towards the people on their side because YouTube algorithms reward that. You're just playing into the hands of the capitalists who run those algorithms. And so
wow, that was actually stupider than I was expecting.
All these folks in these media outlets who stir these things up are bad. Far from it. There are incredible
So
people.
she's basically saying that criticizing me is bad because it helps YouTube algorithms?
Yeah. She's saying that, like, if you direct most of your ire to the people that demonstrably are working against you every second of every day, but claim to be on your side, you're like solely because the only reason you would ever do this is to play into the YouTube algorithm. Like, you're playing into the hands of the advertisers who are paying you.
Okay. Okay. So if criticizing AOC, okay, let's do an experiment. So today I criticize AOC. Let's look at what the YouTube algorithms do, and if it helps me get more views, I'm going to continue every single day.
You'll have to put it in the name of the stream.
I will do that.
Okay. AOC.
Okay, great. Yeah.
Hashtag AOC, hashtag DNC, hashtag DSA.
Yeah, let me do that. AOC, AOC, CIA, DSA.
Don't do the CIA. That'll drive your engagement down. Like,
okay, AOC, hashtag DOC, DSA, and what else?
Yeah, the only way you can get like anything to boost up in the algorithm by writing CIA is if you do it in Old Norse runes.
Okay. AOC, DSA, and what's the third hashtag?
Do Bernie or bust, because people are still on that train.
Okay. After 3 years, that's a little late.
Like, are you kidding? Like, I see them on Twitter like all the time, and they're not like being ironic.
Have they forgotten to maybe change their username?
Like, I don't see how anybody could possibly smoke that much weed and live.
Yeah.
You haven't seen me yet.
Doing very thoughtful work. But there are also a lot of people who make and determine what they're going to make their videos on based on YouTube views and
Yes.
based on
Yes, that's
algorithms. And those
that's how
algorithms-
That's the point
being
of
a
using
YouTuber works.
YouTube. That's the point of using YouTube is to maximize your YouTube views so you can maximize your revenues. Like that is literally the point of YouTube.
Like, yeah, no, that's like the people who like swear to God they're like on Twitter to have people not pay attention to what they have to say.
Yeah. Of course, you are on YouTube. If you're on YouTube and you have a show on YouTube, you want to maximize your views. It's like the definition.
Yeah,
of
no,
business.
I only create content nobody wants to watch. Like, I'm a goddamn Democrat.
No one wants to watch that shit. My father doesn't even watch it. My father loves and he's not a stupid man and he knows exactly. He finds the videos of the right wingers. He finds them hilarious most of the time. He'll be clicking through the TV. He'll put on YouTube and I can hear him and I'm like, what are you watching now? He's like, oh my God, they're so funny.
Yeah, okay. If you enjoy it and if it makes you laugh, I am not going to stop you from having that pleasure. So enjoy yourselves.
Yeah, like
Okay.
I mean, do whatever
Okay,
you want.
always reward left infighting. That's what's
You're
going to
not
get you your
part of
clicks,
the
right?
left.
And so
You're not ended. It's not infighting because we're not in the same group. Like we are not in the same organization where we have agreed on a set of bylaws to abide by. This it cannot be infighting. It's just fighting.
Yeah, exactly. This is just
You're either working against capitalism or you're working for capitalism.
Yeah,
like,
but
she's like seriously in our face right now saying that like Mom says you need to find a game that's 3 players. Like,
Don't be mean to your little brother.
yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not touching you. I'm not touching you.
It's not. It's just fighting, and then the fighting is fine. It's not infighting unless you have agreed to abide by a bunch of bylaws. But let's continue.
About some of that and how you navigate in that, because at the end of the day, we still have very small numbers in Congress, and our central goal, at least ours, is in growing those numbers, which is why we're really excited this Congress to add to our existing squad. Like in 2014, we came in, it was just 4 of us.
2014?
That was 8 years ago. Like, what are you talking? That was 4 years before anybody knew she was alive. Like,
wasn't she still in college or something at that point? 2014.
Yeah. Oh, I know what she was doing.
In 2014, she was not old enough to be in Congress.
Okay, in Niger, there was it's really strange. Inside my OC folder, I have her Niger years. It was in 2013, I think. Before in that same year, Niger had a color revolution, and she was doing something weird with the fire extinguisher in Niger.
What, like a Robert Mapplethorpe photo?
I don't know.
That was. I don't know why that popped in my head. But when I hear something weird with a fire extinguisher, I think of that poor giraffe.
No, she was extinguishing some like fire in a fence or something like that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it was really strange.
Well, that's not that weird of a thing to do with a fire extinguisher. Really.
Okay. What was she doing in Niger? And in college,
it makes sense because like she's an IR major, so it makes sense that they would send her on like a regime change abroad program, like as part of her final or whatever.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, she was
like Louis Texas CIA Academy.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, somebody's got to run like the fax machines at the U.S. Embassy that's coordinating the insurgents.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyways, so she got her years wrong. Let's go on.
Then in 2018, we added folks like Jamal Bowman.
Oh my God, she got her years totally messed up. Like Jamal Bowman was not in 2018; he was in 2020.
I'm feeling like somebody has like slipped something in my drink here. Like, I mean, this is incredible stuff. Like does
Is
she
it really
even know
hard
where
to
she
hear
is?
about?
Like,
Yeah, that kind which year things happen is pretty weird. Okay.
bots
Other-
wouldn't
other
get their
progressive-
ears
yeah,
wrong. They're programmed better than this.
What did you say?
Bots wouldn't get their years wrong. Like bots know what year it is. Like they have to in order to function and put out posts on time.
Yeah.
Maybe just all of DC is getting dementia, even the young ones. I don't know.
Like, hey,
Or
that lead
Bush.
in the water goes every direction, man.
Yeah.
Course, and now this Congress, we have now added Greg Casar, Maxwell Frost, Delia Ramirez, like many.
We
other
have
progressives,
limited numbers in Congress, but we've
into
added all
Congress.
these people, but we have a limited number of people in Congress. Like they famously like did not like lose the midterms outright somehow. But like, you know, it's just always amazing that, like, you know, no matter how much they win or don't lose, like they never have enough power to do anything. I'm getting really sick of this pattern.
Can I also say that the progressives lose more to other Democrats than they lose to Republicans? So it's actually other Democrats that are gunning for them more so than the Republicans.
Yeah,
they're taken out all the time in the primaries. They're totally.
yeah, no. When progressives win their primaries and go up against Republican challengers, like, or you know what passes for a progressive anyway, they generally do like pretty okay. It's just like when they're up against like, the milquetoast candy ass pussies in the
Primaries.
yeah, in the primaries, like with their local voters, like that's when they get screwed because like this, I mean, this party's a joke, and so is everyone who supports it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't particularly care for Fetterman, but you can see what they did there. Like they were trying so hard for him not.
Oh yeah, by the way, Fetterman's finally unblocked me. I don't know why he had blocked me in the first place. But he's been, so it seems like when you're in the Senate, you're constitutionally required to unblock me.
Maybe
there
that's
you
written in the
go.
law.
Well, didn't the court rule that like Trump couldn't block people on Twitter?
Yeah, because you have a constitutional right to present your grievances to your government, and Twitter is one of the ways you can present your grievances. So that's probably why Fetterman unblocked me. I don't even know why he blocked me in the first place.
Yeah, that's weird. I don't think I've ever even interacted with him. I forget he exists. Like, I didn't even know that was the guy who was going against Dr. Oz. I was too busy laughing at Dr. Oz.
Yeah, Dr. Oz is really weird for being a doctor, in my opinion.
He's not just a doctor. Like before he went like the whole Oprah path, he was like the #1 cardiothoracic surgeon on earth.
Oh, so he was a legit doctor before he turned out quacky?
#1 cardiothoracic surgeon on the planet, at least in the country.
And then he devolved into that?
Exactly. Because I mean, he's making like more bank doing this than he was being like the guy you wanted standing over your cracked open chest. Like I can barely fathom it, but like he wasn't just like a doctor, he was like the doctor.
Yep.
And it was a similar setup with Dr. Phil too. He wasn't like world renowned for it, but but before he became Dr. Phil TV man, he was a highly respected psychiatrist.
Yeah.
Wow. So TV really develops people into whatever they are now.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Well, I mean, like the funny thing is that like people like what Alex Jones does is the exact same business model employed by Oprah, Dr. Phil, Dr. Oz, all that. It's just like they took over the well-mannered, polite versions of it. So the only way to capture any market share is by being a ravenous jackass.
Okay.
And that's what Alex Jones does, but it's all the same business model.
Yeah.
You know, Oprah sells shitty books and snake oil. Alex Jones sells like ground up like mastodon bones and
the nutraceuticals.
the nutraceuticals and like dehydrated bull semen or like whatever.
Yeah.
Yipper says Oprah surely knows how to pick them, and yeah, I mean, she like how many horrible people came out of the Oprah show, like
Yeah.
it's crazy.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No, exactly. Like you get a multi-level marketing scheme, and you get a multi-level marketing scheme.
That's funny. Okay, let's continue.
And now, where we started with 4, we're getting a little closer to that double-digit representation.
8?
You have more than that. They have like 20 in the caucus.
Okay, 20. Okay, if you started with 4, now you have 20.
And that's when things start to get really interesting. Should we win back the House in 24? But this is a team sport, and I think a lot of times people think elections are just about set it and forget it. I'm just going to pull my lever for someone and let them do the work. And if you're that kind of person, I'm not sitting here to knock.
Oh, you mean like the only type of person that Democrats cater to?
Yeah.
Like you mean your target demographic?
You guys are organizing any parallel structures of democracy or anything where you can have like bypass Congress. I mean, even Mike Gravel, like when he came on our show, which we have our interview, he talked about how we should just bypass Congress. Congress is never going to do anything. You citizens have to take power, is what he said, more or less.
But she's already starting vote blue, no matter who. I stayed off of Twitter pretty much in September and October because I didn't feel like fucking listening to it.
Oh my God,
right
so liberating because you never have to listen to that nonsense. Oh, by the way, just so you know, in Russia, Putin just authorized. Okay, first of all, last week just so you know, guess how many bills of the Duma that Putin has vetoed?
0.
Yes.
Yeah, in his entire career.
In his entire career, literally 0. Okay. So he introduced a bill where he canceled all the treaties with the European Union last week. It's getting very interesting.
Yeah, that is. Well, like the thing is, like it's kind of funny. The whole part of the reason for the intervention in Ukraine, or like one of the many reasons, is that's basically sealing up like the only backdoor entrance into Russia's future. It's like a loose end because the way forward for Russia isn't in like people will try to tell you that Putin like wants to reconstitute the USSR without any of the socialism or something like that. That's not true. Like the way forward for Russia isn't reconstituting the old Soviet republics, or even attempting to do that. It's eastward integration, not westward.
Yeah, like India, Korea, Asia.
Yeah, the game with anything to the west of Russia, like in the Baltics, in the former Eastern Bloc, really like pretty much all the Operation Gladio CIA horseshit, like has completely poisoned that well, like for like any future progress on like any sort of front like that. I don't think like Putin's like some secret communist type,
no.
but yeah, no, like this is like no big loss for him, like losing any trade deals with the EU, but the situation in Ukraine has to be handled because it's this like perfectly flat, wide open wheat field that like people can just march an entire army through with no obstruction, like right into your country. And like any of your allies that you build in the east, like will have to like come around from behind you to add any sort of support or aid, as like not a good look. So that entire wall like needs to be like sealed off.
All right, so Nomo is saying, I thought Carson died of COVID, but no, that was the Shucky Ducky guy.
Who died of COVID?
Herman Cain.
Herman
Shucky
Cain,
Ducky.
I remember. Okay, so in the late 90s, there was this game called SimCity where they had some weird taxation plan, and he literally lifted his taxation plan from that game.
He gave a whole convention speech
I
that was
swear-
like lifted verbatim from the lyrics to the Pokemon 2000 theme song. It was the best performance art I've ever seen in my life. That whole campaign was fucking fantastic.
Amir is asking about the ranking of certain Oz's. He was actually the top. He was a professor at Columbia.
Wow, he was a medical. Okay,
yeah, the cardio. So he was. Yeah, that would be
Top Gun.
Yeah, that would be pretty. Like to teach. Like it's kind of like the doctors that teach at Harvard. They're considered some of the top doctors in Boston.
Okay.
Or if you are a progressive organizer, what we need the most support in is support during game time, during legislating.
Game time?
And I can't tell you how common it is for us to look to guidance, look to the grassroots for guidance. And sometimes you don't hear anything until after something bad happens.
What is she talking about? This is total nonsense.
Okay, so we're looking to the grassroots for guidance. Somebody call Creed Bratton.
The grassroots wanted you to FTV, and you didn't FTV that shit. So you didn't listen to like your grassroots. Sorry.
Yeah, exactly. Because your grassroots says to force the bloody vote. Oh, also, there was a big protest. So you know that I read this article where a whole bunch of people who were opposing the coup in Bolivia were calling her, and she just ignored their phone call to meet with the fascists in Bolivia. And when you look on these fascists' bleeping Facebook page, one of them literally said we should set this Indian racial slur on fire.
A lot of what we're doing right now is building our infrastructure, not just internally, but also starting to invest and work with our outside partners in building up more of that infrastructure.
What infrastructure?
Externally. And the fact of the matter is that the left in the United States has been persecuted at different points in history for a very long period of time. And as a result was really winnowed very much. And for people who may ask how or what or why, there are so many ways you can look at it. If you look at federal government activity from the civil rights movement or from other types of activist movements throughout American history.
Okay, this has absolutely nothing to do with anything, but like
this sounds like a freeform jazz odyssey of BS.
But first off, this has been bothering me since the video started, and it has nothing to do with anything. I'm just going to say it. The pinky on her right hand seems like it is barely attached to anything. Has anybody caught that? This is it looks like every time she pushes on it, it's like you can bend it backwards to her
federal government activity from
it's weird.
the civil rights movement or from other types of activist movements.
It's held on there with a piece of gum or something. Jailed, I can't unsee it. But anyway, she was yes, I'm well aware that the left in the U.S. has been persecuted at various points in history by people like this,
like her. Yeah,
yeah.
But so if you can't stand her finger doing that, look at pictures. Look at picture of Kant's making a fist. She doesn't know how to make a fist.
Wait, who's making a fist?
Naomi.
Who?
Naomi doesn't know how to make a fist, and it's funny. So if you ever see
Naomi who?
Const.
Naomi Const.
She doesn't know how to make a fist. It's okay.
I'll check.
Do it right.
I can freak people out because I'm not on video, but I have a gene that I can sort of bend my fingers backwards.
No, Mickey, not Naomi. Her name is Nomiki.
I don't know.
Yeah, Nomiki. I thought is that how you pronounce her last name?
I don't know.
Because if it is, I've been saying it really wrong.
How do you say it?
I'm afraid to even try now.
Const. Konst. Const.
I thought it was Const.
I thought it was Kunst.
Okay, can somebody ask her how to pronounce?
Can somebody tell me what vowel it is?
I am not.
Somebody figure out how to pronounce her name, please, for us.
I don't even remember how to spell it now.
Yeah,
it's Konst. That's it's spelled that way.
It's Konst. Okay, maybe it's
Nomiki. Yeah, her name is Nomiki.
No,
Nomiki. Okay.
Yeah. Oh, she did
I
some.
feel like I'm having. I feel like I'm having the Nomi Rapace discussion.
Yeah.
From Girl with the Dragon Tattoo. But like, so she doesn't know how to make a fist. Okay, I'll have to like.
she does not know how to make a fist. I want you to search that on. I want you to go on Twitter and look up.
If somebody finds the clip, we can play it with a German. Okay, Abdulaziz Elijah says, "Oh hey Elijah, we had a great. Check out our latest episode about Morocco. It was awesome." Abdulaziz Elijah Fanan says "Kunst" with the German O.
Cones? Okay.
Kunst? Okay.
Okay, I'm looking for. I found pictures of Nomiki. I googled Nomiki Kunst fist and made sure I spelled that right. So
An ing on the end.
and I'm not seeing anything.
I can send it. It's my friend. My friend Andre has a huge issue with her fist, so he sends us pictures of her anytime that she comes up. He'll throw pictures in the DM of her.
Okay, I totally forgot her name though. I feel really bad.
I know we were like in her group. We
were in her really weird. Yeah, we were in her group for a long time. She added all of us for some odd reason, right?
Probably to keep tabs on you as part of her ongoing regime change efforts.
Oh yeah, that's exactly what they were doing. You know what they did to me is on AOC's campaign. They actually they called me in my house, and they're like, "Well, because of what you tweet out, we can't like say that you work for the campaign," because I was like going to volunteer. I was like, I didn't want to work for the campaign. I can't really, like promise that I can put in all this hours anyhow. And they're like, "Oh, okay, that's good. But we're going to tell you what we need you to tweet out."
What? That's insane.
Wait, what part of I don't really want to work for the campaign did you not under fucking stand?
Exactly. and it's not just one person that came to me with this stuff. And then
that's insane.
One time I said something. I was just like, she was wrong on this. Like, she's not right on this. Like, that's all I said. I wasn't like, that bitch. I wasn't like going off on her. I was like lightly saying, oh no, you know what? Like, you should like fight for this, or you should do whatever it was. It was so light. And I got so many DMs yelling at me.
That's so crazy. Like, that is not normal. That is beyond abnormal.
And it was all people from that DM. It was all people from that.
Wow.
DM.
That is completely abnormal behavior for people who are actual professionals to like target you, who's not working for the campaign.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. So okay, so let's get ready. Oopsie daisy, what did I do? How did I fix this?
I don't know.
Okay, so let's get ready for this week's piece. Okay. So in Russian, it is Kukushka Hvalit Petuha. It means. So let me. It's actually based on a story on a poem or a little kid story by Ivan Krylov. So it's about this cuckoo and a rooster, and they're both really bad singers, but they're praising each other's singing abilities. Okay, let's take a 1-minute advertising break. So that where is our video? Okay, let's take a 1-minute advertising. Should we take a 1-minute break or a 3-minute break?
1 minute.
Whatever helps us play into the algorithm's hands faster.
Okay, let's take a 1-minute break. No, let's. Sorry, I just had to fill up my tea. I'm sorry.
No problem.
You and your tea. That's all right. Matt, you better have been dancing to that because that's what Asha and I do when we watch
Yeah, we always dance to it. Oh, good! Yipper, yes!
We all dance.
We all dance. I'm actually not bad at dancing. I'll show you guys later. And I'm taking tango these days. I'll show you my tango shoes, actually.
You'd be a good dancer.
Yeah.
You have the moves.
In Russia, I'm taking. By the way, we have recorded an episode about the history of tango. And did you know that Brezhnev danced tango?
Those are pretty. I like those.
I know, these are my favorite. They're comfortable.
I refuse to believe that. Like, I absolutely refuse to believe that. I'm insulted. You even said that out loud with a straight face to me, that those are comfortable. Like, no, they are not. They are foot prisons with a spike on them.
So I go to tango class at 8 o'clock. Okay, but we have an episode recorded, Janet, and I need to edit it properly. And I need to translate it so she can edit it properly.
And we also do have that video with the new logo. We just have to put it up in here.
Yeah, we forgot about that.
That's all right. Okay. All right. We're lit with it.
So this is so the rooster and the cuckoo. So the rooster basically praises the cuckoo, and the cuckoo praises the rooster about how well they sing, even though they sing.
I just want to point out, this is like doubly funny right now because, like, who's the cuckoo in this situation? Because that's the root word of cuck.
Yeah, is Lenin making a cuck joke here?
I would imagine, like, because like that's what the cuckoo bird is known for. It lays its eggs in other birds' nests and forces them to raise their young.
Oh, that's where the cuck jokes come from, because it fools
No,
people.
that is absolutely not where the cuck jokes come from, but that's where the word comes from.
Oh, where do the cuck jokes come from then?
You don't want to know. If you don't know now, you don't need to know. Like, ever.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like this,
I don't know. It might be the cadets that he's calling the cuckoo.
The cuckdets.
Cuckoo.
Okay. Well,
you said the word. I want to say cuckoo because cuckoo. I don't know.
Well,
cuck is a lot funnier in Russian, by the way. I don't know how to explain it.
Cuck is short for cuckold, which means, like, to get cuckooed. So think of it like that: cuckold, cuckooed, like not.
Yes, it's the rooster in the hen house. That's basically where the cuck thing comes from. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
okay. I mean, okay. Who wants to read it?
You want me to read, or Matt? You want to read?
You read it right now because I don't have it up right now. I have to find the link in my Telegram chat.
Okay. The Cuckoo Praises the Rooster, written March 28th or April 10th, 1907. Okay. The cadets praise Novoya Vremya.
Novaya Vremya, which means new time. It's a magazine from the it's like a bourgeoisie liberal magazine from the Tsarist period.
The Novaya Vremya. Novaya
Vremya.
All right, so that second O is like almost like an I then, right? Novaya?
Yeah.
All right, Vremya. I'm learning. Crew praise the cadets. The People's Freedom Party is pleased with the minister's concluding speech on the on the budget. This party, which is always pleased with all ministers, is now pleased with the consent of the cadets as leaders of the Duma Center to approve
quote unquote
to approve the budget of the Duma dissolving ministry. If it were necessary to prove that the general discussion on the budget in the State Duma had not been fruitless, March 28th, pompously. Wretch. Oh, yeah.
Aptly named.
Speech in Russian.
Wretch, March 28th, pompously opens its editorial. The finance minister's concluding speech would be a most brilliant proof of it. What is that brilliant proof? The proof is not a shadow has remained of the minister's former arrogantly didactic and irritably ironical tone. The minister's reply was correct in form, and in content, it revealed a tribute of respect for the power of the Duma criticism. The minister mollified the Duma with the assurance that it had greater rights than it had seemed to have. He paid compliments to the People's Freedom Party.
I like how you put "people's freedom" in quotation marks.
Yeah, in quotes. Compliments which the overwhelming majority of the Duma deserved for its subsequent voting for agreeing to send the budget to the commission.
Yeah.
It's like we have voted and agreed to praise ourselves for doing our jobs.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, indeed. These are the cadets' brilliant proofs of the non-fruitlessness of the Duma debates. The fruit does. Go ahead.
He's actually so much funnier in Russian. I don't know how to explain it. Why he's so much more funnier.
That was his natural.
Yeah, it's normal to be funnier in your native language, even if you're being translated, especially in Russian, where like syntax like doesn't matter. Like,
Yeah.
So like you can basically put the laugh line anywhere you want in a sentence.
Yeah.
That's what he does a lot. I've noticed that. Go ahead.
The fruit does not consist in the faintest trace of serious improvement in the real state of affairs, nor is it that the masses of people have learned something and understood certain aims concealed behind the constitutional tinsel. Nothing of the sort. The fruit consists of the
We
minister.
call them constitutional declarations in Russian.
See, yeah, this is why like translations always bother me. Like, that's not a huge deal right there, but it is pretty different.
Okay.
The fruit consists in the minister having become more decent, more obliging. He is more obliging to those who, in the name of the people's representation, consent to all sort of compromises.
So like we've got like civility politics here, like sarcastic praise for like this is impressive stuff.
Yes.
Okay, so do you want me to pick up
Yeah,
the
go
rest
ahead.
of it? All right.
Go ahead.
Since we're at the halfway, okay. The liberals consent to prostitute the people's representation to underpin the foundations of Black Hundred rule. On these terms, the government of Stolypin and company consents not to dissolve the Duma for the time being, ... Both sides are filled with joy and mutual admiration.
And if, of course, when it's a Stolypin, like if the Black Hundreds can dissolve the Duma whenever they want, it's not really a Duma, is it?
Yeah, no. Today's Novoya Remya, while missing no opportunity to revile the cadets for the quote-unquote Jewish composition of the Commission on Religious Faiths, at the same time publishes a long dissertation by its Duma reporter on the reasons for its being inadvisable to dissolve the Duma. Quote, even from the standpoint of the extreme right, it would be inexpedient and harmful to dissolve the Duma at the present moment, end quote.
At the present moment.
At the present moment. The election law cannot be changed without a coup d'etat, and if a new Duma is elected in accordance with the existing election law, it is possible that, quote, we may lose the present center of the second state Duma, end quote. According to Novoya Vremya, to the Novoya Vremya reporter, that center, quote, begins at the Octoberists and stretches through the party of peaceful renovation. The non-party deputies, the Poles and cadets, as far as the Trudovics, end quote. Who are the Trudovics?
Trudovics are, Kerensky and Aladdin, they were the Trudovics. So they started out as like a party that represented the peasant class, and they wanted to do like redistribution. But then they became Kerensky at the end.
Okay.
And by the way, you guys know how there's actually a really funny video we have put up in our YouTube channel where Nancy Pelosi gets Zelensky confused with Kerensky.
Oh, that's perfect.
Oh yeah.
Quote, undoubtedly, the present center holds a strictly constitutional monarchist viewpoint and has, up to now, made every effort to engage in organic work. In any case, we shall be deprived. Uh, uh, in any case, we should be deprived of that center if the Second Duma is dissolved. We shall be deprived, therefore, of a budget approved by the Duma, for I assume it to be beyond all measure of doubt that the budget introduced by the ministry, with a few insignificant, bracketed here, Lenin, mark this.
Okay, by the way, in Russian, Lenin literally says "slushайте" or "listen to this."
Yeah, it says mark this in English.
Okay, I don't know why. I don't know why I'm looking at the Russian, but it's kind of funny. Like, listen, I like. Can we do more of these phone calls together where you read in English and then I look at it in Russian?
Yeah, I mean that makes sense. Like, I mean, if I was living in Petrograd, I would like try to interact with the Russian language as often as possible, just for my own sake. Like, well, okay, with a few insignificant mark this changes, we will be adopted by the Second Duma. That is what Novoye Vremya says. The argument the argument is extraordinarily clear. It is an excellent exposition of the point of view of the extreme rights, who at the same time now wish to save the Duma. In the upper circles of the ruling oligarchy, there is a struggle between two tendencies: one that wants the Duma dissolved, and the other that would preserve it for the time being. The first of these policies is one that Novoye Vremya has long since evolved, explained, defended, and from time to time, or rather at all times, still continues to defend. The ruling oligarchy, however, has another policy. There will always be time to dissolve the Duma, and if it approves the budget, it may be easier to obtain a loan, and so it is more advantageous to wait. The threat of dissolution remains, and quote unquote, we shall keep the pressure of this threat constantly on the cadets, which will force them, in a way obvious to everybody, to shift to the right. And this is the story of how Kevin McCarthy became Speaker of the House.
Exactly. For 100 years, 120 years now.
Yeah. The latter policy is undoubtedly more subtle and better from the standpoint of the reactionary landlord's interests. The former policy is crude, coarse, and hasty. The latter is better planned because the dissolution is, quote, held in reserve, end quote, while the liberals are being used by the government. For the Duma to approve the budget is almost equivalent to consenting to endorse a bill of exchange for a bankrupt. That's funny. It is more expedient to get both the bill extended for a further term and the Duma dissolved than to dissolve the Duma at once without attempting to get the bill extended.
It's amazing that 100 years later and half a world away, this is the same shit.
We have changed profoundly little here. So.
Well, I know, because instead of the constitutional Democrats, our Democrats don't even care about being constitutional.
Yeah, no, they just make that shit up as they go along.
Exactly.
So the changes has just been worse.
Yeah, exactly. Apart from the approval of the budget, there may, of course, be other similar bills of exchange. Have not the cadets, from the landlord's standpoint, already improved their agrarian bill? Let that bill pass through the Duma, then let it go to the Council of State for consideration and all italics further improvement. If we, quote unquote, we dissolve the Duma at that moment, we shall have 2 and not 1 endorsed bills of exchange. Quote, we, unquote, shall possibly be able to obtain from Europe not 1,000, but 2,000 million. 1,000 million in the event of the State Duma approving the budget, i.e., on the basis of a quote state economy that has passed through the fire of a strictly constitutional test, end quote. The other 1,000 million in the event of a quote great agrarian reform passing through the fire of the strictly constitutional creative activities of popular representative body, end quote. The Council of State will make slight corrections to the Cadet Agrarian Bill, a bill that is already overflowing with the most diffuse phrases that define nothing.
That's like AOC. Oh my god, we should keep
That is exactly how I would describe I'm sorry that after I read through this once I did not remember that, because that is the exact way the exact perfect way I would describe that AOC video. Diffuse phrases that define nothing. Like, how do you...
a speech that is already overflowing with the most diffuse phrases that define nothing.
Yeah, I'm going to have to keep that in the back pocket for like quick replies from the Lenin account in the future.
Yes. Okay, next time quote tweet the... Oh my god, yeah. By the way, follow Lenin_tweets. That's Lenin's Twitter.
Yep. Run by his handlers, me and Esha.
Yeah, mostly Matt, actually. Because I'm afraid to access a lot of Twitter accounts from Russia, because what if...
Also, I run at Tweets of Steel, and I don't remember if there are underscores in that, but
it's Tweets of Steel. Yeah, he runs Tweets of Steel too. So follow both of Lenin and Stalin's Twitters.
But I'll admit I forget that the Stalin one exists a lot. The Lenin one gets updated more frequently.
Yeah. You use the Lenin one very wisely, like when you tore down Jacobin today.
That was fun. Okay, back to it. The Council of State will make slight corrections to the Cadet Agrarian Bill, a bill that is already overflowing with the most diffuse phrases that define nothing. In actual fact, everything depends on the composition of the local land committees. The cadets are against the election of these committees by universal, direct, equal, and secret ballot. The cadets favor equal representation of landlords and peasants with control by the government.
So, of course, if you have equal obviously you can't have equal representation of landlords and peasants, because that's like having...
Yeah, you can't have equal representation of two unequal classes, like the way you can't have... the way you can't remain stationary on a moving train. That's just not how life works.
Yeah, it's like you can't have it's like four wolves and a sheep deciding what to eat for dinner. So he's being ironic and sarcastic here.
With control by the government and the landlords do not risk anything in adopting the basic idea of this superb liberal bill for such committees, with the benevolent cooperation of the Council State. Stolypin and Company will most certainly turn, quote, compulsory alienation, end quote, of the landlord's land into compulsory enslavement of the mujik by means of new and ruinous compensation payments for the sand, swamps, and tree stumps set aside for them. Now, okay, so in Russian law at this point, there were 150 legally defined classes of serfs and peasants. For everybody's clarification, what specifically are the mujiks, Esha?
The mujiks are not actually a defined one. They're just it's like, you know how in
they
American...
are more, as I understand it, I might have this wrong, but as I understand it, it's more basically what is going to first come to a USian's mind when they hear the word peasant is what mujik is.
Exactly. It's basically kind of like, you know how the US back in even today called people white trash. Mujik was supposed to be this country bumpkin who was uneducated, who wore silly shoes and did not adopt Western fashions. He wore the traditional Russian clothes because that's the only thing he had.
Yeah,
If he had
okay,
that.
that makes sense. It gets very confusing because like, English doesn't have like this many words for like this
Yeah.
this one concept, so it translates rather poorly, and there's also like a bias against like explaining this reality in Western historiography because that makes it harder to portray plantation owners as quote unquote
Yeah.
peasants.
Like and then
Yeah, exactly. Like
yeah.
oh my God! Like there are the number of times people accidentally confess that their grandfather was like a Banderaite.
Yeah, no, it's incredible stuff. Like really
Yeah,
truly
they're like,
magical shit.
yeah, they're like, oh, my grandpa was a peasant. It's like, really? What was he doing in this rural area? It's like, oh, he owned a cow. Does that make him have? And it's like, yes,
Yeah,
it does.
what's like
Because he was ripped
I'll
out.
have my great grandfather was but a humble baker. Oh yeah, where did he work? He ran an oven in Estonia.
A gas oven, of course.
Oh my God.
Hey, the Biden administration says those are bad for you,
They
and
are.
that's why our right wing supports them now.
Well, I knew that gas stove thing was coming out. It was just gonna end up to.
I think it's so funny that the Biden administration dropped all that nonsense like the second they realized, oh wait, it's gonna like the bill for this is gonna fall on the landlords to fix any of it, but like they're like liberal idiot followers are still running with this like it's a thing that's happening or matters. It's amazing. God, these people are very stupid.
Yeah, and then the thing about it is that gas stoves make up this much of the emissions and the bloody U.S.
I don't think it's. I don't think it was. Yeah, I don't think like what they were saying was like really that it was like a contributor to like climate change. Like I think they were like complaining that like like basically it's like having a constant gas leak in your apartment, and like but like honestly like how the hell would these people possibly know if they were slowly getting stupider?
Yeah, and they're coming out saying like, "Oh, look, it causes asthma and stuff like that." Now they.
Do you have like any idea how much microplastics is just flowing through the air? Like we had lead in gasoline just coming out of exhaust pipes until 1996. Like I don't think we'll notice at this point. What are you talking about?
They totally screwed themselves with this because now they put out this stuff and now the liberals are running with it, right? And they're running with this asthma thing. They're running with this. How many people are going to sue landlords now to get rid of the gas stoves?
Oh yeah, no, it's incredible stuff, and like it's really pissing me off because like I am a hoity-toity trained chef, like all that. Like no, I'm a line cook, but like I'll tell you this, like gas stoves infinitely superior.
Oh yeah,
like they heat evenly, they heat evenly instantly, and you can actually simmer stuff without burning your food to the bottom of the pot.
And then I was watching this video of the new stoves that are just flat, like the glass ones.
Oh, the induction stoves, yeah.
And then you have the tall pots, and if they have water and they're boiling, they'll spin around, they'll spin all crazy on your stove.
It's crazy.
Oh yeah,
that's not dangerous.
Yeah, exactly. If you get them wet, because like the water doesn't go anywhere, it just stays there flat on the surface. But they admittedly they are incredibly easy to clean. But like I'm having a hard time to mine. Yeah, I mean I don't have like any trouble like cleaning what do you call them, like the coil stoves
the coils
or gas ranges, but I had an induction stove at my old apartment, and like I mean when the stove got dirty, like I just got a sponge and dried it off.
I mean, it's nice that way, but it's like anything drops on it, it's stuck there. I do most of my cooking with cast iron pots and skillets, and like you got to be real careful on an induction stove because like I mean those things weigh a ton, and like I mean you can crack your stove like really quickly. I don't use my cast iron anymore right now because of that.
Yeah, like it's not really like a problem, like if as long as you're like careful and you're not like just like dropping things down. But it never happened to me in like 4 years of using the stove. I never cracked it, but it was always in the back of my mind that like, man, I'm gonna break this fucking stove. But no, it never happened. But like, no, it's a pain in the ass because like you said, you end up with like boiling water on the stove surface. Like, you know, they take forever to heat up. Like you can't tell visually when they stop being hot. So like if your like heat indicator light burns out, like you're gonna hurt yourself like real bad. Like
Yep.
No, I'm blurrier.
You're very blurry.
all right, so one more paragraph. Okay. Okay, so I'll just go back a little bit. So all right, so the government and the landlords do not risk anything in adopting the basic idea of this superb liberal bill, for such committees, with the benevolent cooperation of the Council of State, Stolypin and Company, will most certainly turn compulsory alienation of the landlord's land into compulsory enslavement of the mujik by means of new and ruinous compensation payments for the sand, swamps, and tree stumps set aside for them. Such is the real significance of the government policy and the policy of the cadets. By their treachery, the liberals are helping the landlords put through a smart deal. If the peasants, the Trudovics, quote unquote, continue to follow in the wake of the liberals, despite the warnings of the Social Democrats, the mujik will inevitably be fooled by the landlord with the help of the liberal lawyers.
Nothing changes.
And that's the end of this really funny piece. Like, good on Lenin.
I like the funny pieces.
I find out. When I'm reading Lenin, I'm just like laughing in my like bedroom. Like if I'm kind of embarrassed sometimes.
I just want to make a quick note here. There is a reference to the notes here because this is funny. So there's just one note to this piece. It's from the fable of Ivan Krylov. Recognizing the English equivalent is roughly a mutual admiration society. I've lost the quote.
The editor.
Okay, but so like the English equivalent here is actually roughly circle jerk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so I just quickly summarized the Ivan Krylov story by it's like basically it's in a forest, the rooster and the it was before you came, Matt. That's why you missed it.
Right. Yeah.
Okay.
Who's pounding?
Oh, that's somebody who, if he doesn't have a warrant, needs to go away.
Is that a neighbor?
Whatever you have a warrant, go away.
Is that a neighbor?
It's my asshole shitbag neighbor.
What makes him an asshole shitbag?
He's a fucking pervert creep who will break in on you in the bathroom.
What?
And like he thinks like his existence matters to me.
Mm.
But I'm not answering the fucking door because I'm goddamn busy with work shit.
Okay. But we should definitely go through all his Duma works. Everything from like 1905 to about 1912 is about like how stupid the Duma is.
Yeah, because what's the big piece that we're working on?
Proletarian Revolution and the Renegade Chomsky.
The
Renegade Chomsky.
Yeah, we're gonna do that in probably a few weeks. We want to keep the short pieces for now because we just finished the big one.
Yeah. But we are definitely preparing for this because we are going at him and we are destroying any Chomsky remnants of like we are going to.
Hold on. I am on a work call. I am not answering the door. I am busy. Go away. All right.
Okay. Yeah, we are very. We are taking no prisoners, showing no mercy. We are going to make sure that if anyone who watches our piece who starts off as a Chomsky fan will not end as a Chomsky fan if they are logical.
It is related. Well, no, it's really Kotsky, and we're
It's Kotsky.
Yeah,
Chomsky.
Chomsky is funny.
Yeah, we just put Chomsky. Okay, my theory is that, okay, so when Lenin was writing the Proletarian Revolution and the Renegade Kotsky, he was so angry, he was simultaneously writing it in English, in German and in Russian at the same time. I don't know how. But then, like he commissioned it to be translated to English, but then in the US, they blocked shipping it to the US, so it never came to US. So even though Lenin has debunked every stupid argument that it has, Chomsky never got the memo because it never came to the US. And that's our joke, is that he throws out the same stupid arguments that Kautsky did back in the day.
Yep.
Do you think that he prophetized Chomsky?
Yeah.
Lenin prophetized Chomsky.
Yeah, it's like literally like Chomsky does not have an argument that Kautsky did not have.
No.
Yeah, no.
No. And Emma, what's her name? No. Emma, the one from TYT.
Emma.
Bigelow.
Emma who?
Emma Bigelow.
Oh, Sam Cedar's sidekick. Yeah.
Yeah. She likes to bring up Kotsky. Remember that?
What?
Yeah, and like well, also there's that Eric Blanc.
Oh my God, he is so. Oh yeah, Eric Blanc from Corbyn. Let's get him started.
Yeah, he's an unironic Kautskyite. He thinks
hold on. I have lots
is
to
a
say about
serious
this.
politician with ideas that matter and like weren't like demonstrated as like verifiably wrong in his lifetime. Like.
Yeah, and his wife. Okay, but wait, Eric Blanc gets worse because he claims to have read in Latvian and Lithuanian, but the best I can tell is that the first piece of Latvian literature did not exist until the late 1800s. All the educated people in Latvia and Lithuania spoke German. So I feel like he's kind of, and until, okay, I know this sounds like that one tweet about Estonia, until the USSR came and then they actually recognized Latvian and Lithuanian as a minority language. And sorry.
Yep.
I need you to answer the question that's on screen right now.
Was called. I used to be able to do a good Chomsky voice, and I've lost that ability, and I don't know how to get it back.
Like way down here, like this.
You have
everything, like somewhere like in between.
Oh my God!
Like a throat cancer patient and Buffalo Bill. Like.
Got it. Okay. I'm gonna figure out how to make my Chomsky voice again. I used to be able to do a really good Chomsky voice.
Yourself. Like I could just do this.
Pretend you're calling in sick. That's how you do it. Actually, you pretend you're calling in sick.
Yeah, you pretend you're calling in sick, but like you're calling in sick from having emotion.
How are you? Hello. I am not.
It's very easy to talk so calmly and quietly when you don't actually care about anything you're saying.
Hi. Hello. I am Richmond.
Or down a bottle of whiskey and smoke a pack of cigarettes at night.
Okay, hold on. Let me try it again.
I'm trying so hard to like my body wants to like bring this up to a Bane voice like so bad.
He's trying to kill me.
Matt, you do a great Chomsky voice. Can you try it again? Pretend you're calling in.
It's like, yes, I'm sick. I'm too sick to have an emotional response to like my own opinions because I do not care. I'm 137 years old and I've looked 400 for the last 50.
You are so good with this. Okay, I'm going to look at my ability. I used to be able to do a good Winston Churchill too, and I lost that ability because I'm here in Russia. Certain ADHD medicines are zapreshon, and so I don't have them. So.
My husband has a good Kissinger. If you ever
I
need
used to be able to do a podcast if you're
That's just Chomsky in a German accent.
exactly.
Yeah. Okay, so we will figure out how to do voices from now on. So one of our viewers introduced me to this professor, Michael Popov. If you understand Russian, watch his channel. It is len.ru, where he goes through all of the Lenin's collected works with good explanations. But he does a really good Lenin impression. He's like, "Tavarishi, tavarishi, tavarishi, tavarishi." He does a really good.
I've only heard like one recording of Lenin.
There's only like 5 or 6 recordings of Lenin.
Yeah.
One.
And I mean, I don't know like how you could like do a good impression of Lenin like based on that.
There are just I have all.
I guess if you do any impression of Lenin, you're probably like in the top 10 at least, like easy. like how do you judge that?
Yeah, like I said, he does. Well, there are. I have all the recordings of Lenin in existence on my hard drive, and there are a handful.
And she listens to him every night before she goes to bed.
Yeah. My Russian teacher recorded a lot of Russian fairy tales, so I listened to them. Like one of my favorites is there are 2 ones. There's the frog princess one, and then the scorpion and the frog, which you know about.
Yeah.
Yeah. I really wish there was a recording of Lenin speaking English, or like the little English that he knew, because
with Irish accent.
Yes, his tutor was Irish, so Lenin spoke English with an Irish accent.
Yeah.
And it's like I would love to hear a Russian speaking English in an Irish accent.
Yeah.
Like that's gotta be crazy stuff.
Yeah. And apparently Stalin spoke only English and Russian and Georgian, but he learned how to say one English phrase to both Franklin Roosevelt and Winston Churchill, and it was, "The laboratory is to your left, friends."
The lavatory is to your left, friends.
Good. That was the only English sentence he spoke in his life.
Yeah, no. I mean, like, yeah, even the toilet is to the left of Churchill and FDR. That makes sense.
Bullshit to the left. Go.
Well, no, I mean that makes sense. I mean, the left in Russia did spend most of their time cleaning up those 2 shit.
Yep.
Yeah.
Like that was basically the entire Eastern Front.
Yeah. The laboratory. Well, I mean, I think he was speaking literally in Yalta, as in turn left if you want to pee. Yeah. Oh, okay. So this week we will have a nice episode.
Okay, last one. The arsonists of war have burned down this shitter.
Yeah, Stalin's last speech, the last thing he says to the people is peace between the people of the international people of the world, down with the arsonists of war. Yeah.
So war. All right. So what's up? What's coming up this week?
Okay. So this week we are going to be having a great episode with Carl Za about the opium trade.
Mm-hmm.
And we will hold no prisoners. A lot of people who are rich in America, like the Forbes family. We actually covered this with Max Good's episode, where he talks about how the Forbes family, John Forbes, Gary.
There's an interesting. I'm forgetting the guy's name, but there's an interesting connection to a guy who got rich in the opium trade in China, and why Christmas is considered a children's holiday.
Oh. I don't know about this, but I will find out about that.
No. I've got notes about it. Somewhere around here, or I can like give you like a quick write up. But I found out about it a little too late to write about it for Christmas last year, or like a couple weeks ago, rather. But
we can still write about it. We're
no, I've got a great title for it too. It's some incredible stuff. But Christmas used to be like a violent riot. like where you just like went door to door shaking down rich people. It was like imagine like how trick or treating is now, but drunk, violent adults.
Oh wow, cool. Okay.
Like demanding food, or
Well,
and
just
if you didn't give them if you didn't give them food, they wouldn't stop singing.
Oh, that's I love it. Christmas carols were actually a form of harassment.
Christmas was about harassing the rich for booze and food and having an orgy on their front lawn until they decided that like the rich didn't really like that very much, and they actually formed an elaborate conspiracy to frame it as a family holiday about children, to make it very boring and shitty and get everybody to buy lots of toys.
Yeah, they capitalized it here like 100 years ago is when
Yeah.
it really.
Oh, okay, this is really cool. Here in Russia, Christmas is a strange. Like it's actually people do weird things like swim in. It's on the 18th of January where they go swim in the freezing winter.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
They do that in Boston. They do that. We have the L Street brownies. They jump in on New Year's Day. They jump into the bay.
Yeah, there's a lot of different places that where it gets like real cold in the winter have like some variant on something called like a polar bear club, and it's just real pale dudes jumping in freezing water.
That's very interesting that it was shaky. I love that old Christmas tradition then.
Oh yeah, no. We really need to take back the old holidays, and it fits in very much with if you know like the true like the story of like the actual person Saint Nicholas. The dude was kind of like a street fighter. He would like get into fist fights. He was known for this.
Yeah.
Like
Boxing Day with it then, because was the Boxing Day then made to offset? Because
I don't actually. I've never actually looked into what Boxing Day is about.
Day is where like so you don't return the Christmas presents you don't like. You put it out. You put it in boxes and you put it out on the front door for homeless people to take.
Homeless, or you give it to your servants.
Rather than like just giving them a house. Here's some shit.
Yeah. I don't want. I'm regifting. I don't want them, or it could have been old clothes, like clothes that you didn't want to wear anymore, or anything like that.
Yeah, whatever you put it out for homeless people to take.
Yeah, okay. I have no idea. I know Canada has the Boxing Day thing. I don't know about Australia.
Australia has it too. I mean, it's better than what they do in the U.S., but that's great. Like,
everything is better than what we do in the U.S. Like the only thing that the U.S. does better than other countries is like the amount of fries somebody will hand you at one time.
Yeah,
like that's about it. There's no other place in the world where you can order a side of fries and it fills a fucking dinner plate.
Yeah. Yesterday I went to a restaurant and I ordered some pasta, and it was like it was just enough for one meal. Like it was really cheap though.
Yeah. Imagine that. That's like like you live in the U.S. for so long. Like this is only enough to feed one person once. This is not a meal.
But it actually costs less. Like it costs a reasonable amount. So it's not like really expensive like in the U.S. So it costs,
people don't understand that like the whole reason, like part of the reason like why it's like considered like basically like social suicide to ask for like a quote unquote doggy bag in a restaurant outside of the United States is because like the average portion like for your main course and your side dishes are not like 16 ounces here, 8 ounces here, 24 ounces in the middle. Like it's actually possible to eat all this shit in one sitting.
Yeah.
Like they don't serve you more food in a restaurant that the human stomach is actually capable of holding.
Exactly. By the way, this is a good joke. Yipper99 says in Russia they jump into freezing water. In Ukraine they reenact killing the Jew for Christmas.
Yeah, that's what they did.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's a way to format that in a Yakov Smirnov joke. He's Ukrainian, by the way, specifically.
Ah, that makes sense.
Yeah, like I don't know. I think like some of his stuff is like it's like way too funny. I don't know why, but I always laugh at it. I laugh at Carrot Top though.
Really, a Yakov Smirnov joke or like a Yakov Smirnoff style joke where
Jack
they said in
off
Soviet
Smirnoff.
Russia, you rob a bank and you go to jail. In America, the bank robs you and nobody goes to jail.
Famous one.
No, in Russia, you can ask for a doggy bag. You say samanoi, as in with. I want to take it with me. You can ask for it and they'll give it to you.
And they pay wait staff there a living wage, so you don't tip there, right? Though, right?
Well, yeah, you can if you want to, but it's not so you if you want to, you can tip 10%. But
like my wait, like if like you don't tip, there's not a reasonable expectation that like your waiter will starve that month.
No.
Yeah.
No, minimum wage is actually a living wage here, and yeah, I don't even know how much wage. I should actually ask. I should ask around. Although I feel weird.
Yeah, I don't know what. Well, yeah, I mean, I think it's like rude everywhere you live. Like, how much money do you make? Like,
Well, I don't know. The trick is, wait, hold on. I'll tell you. The trick is I have to wear my press pass like this around my shoulders, and then say, "Well, there's a lot of misunderstandings in the West about how things in Russia work. So, will you please teach the Americans about how things work? So, how much money do you make?" And then they'll say.
okay, yeah, that makes sense.
But I have to wear my press pass for that.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Didn't you like just retweet like last night this whole thread I did like 2 years ago explaining to some guy how purchasing power parity works in China?
Yeah, because the same guy today said that both Russia is imperialist and Ukraine is imperialist, and I'm like, technically neither are imperialist.
No, Russia. Okay, like I can like. I understand why a dumbass would think Russia was imperialist, but Ukraine is like literally a developing country. It was It was deindustrialized in the '90s, and it's now a neo-colony of the United States.
Exactly. There's no way it can be imperialist because it is one of the worst suffering colonies of the U.S. and Britain.
Yeah, they are an agricultural economy. That is a fact.
I think it's just is it the U.S. or all NATO? Is it NATO colonizing?
Mostly U.S.
Same thing.
Same thing. Mostly U.S.
Okay. NATO is the U.S. Like that's all it is.
Periphery. It's like if you believe in Samir Amin's core periphery theory, the most exploited is of course Ukraine, and then the first level of exploitation is Poland, and then on top of that there's Germany, and then on top of that there's U.S.
Oh, it's like, yeah. Wow. Wow. I was just gonna say that, like, the U.S. built a human Slavopede.
Yeah.
Puerto Rico is imperialist.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
Someone asked me on TikTok, they're like, well, what has the United States colonized in the last 50 years? And I'm like, mainstream United States, main United
Iraq?
States.
Yeah.
Because they're still colonizing all these.
And then there's Iraq, Afghanistan, West Virginia is an internal colony. I mean, it's a nation in a colony, a colony in a.
What is an Indian reservation, man? Like, everything outside the Indian reservation is a colony of the United States.
Exactly. But then when you use Samir Amin's definition of core periphery, like West Virginia is nothing but a colony in a nation. But on top of that, there's Iraq, Afghanistan, everything, the entire fucking IMF, every single nation, Korea, Germany. I mean, everywhere there's a U.S. military base, that's a colony.
Yeah. No, pretty much. Who did that? So, like, somebody was saying that, like, Russia was quote unquote anti-indigenous. You asked, like who, like, what indigenous people are Russia exterminating? And I said, like, written in Cyrillic, the Made-em-up-skis. And then this guy, like, repeats to me, it's like, says, a Google search both in Cyrillic and Latin transliteration turned up nothing. For if there's no search for a single word, there's a 99.9999% chance it doesn't exist at all. So are you stupid or just lying? And I'm like, how can you transliterate made-em-up-skis to English to the Latin alphabet and not see the fucking joke, bro? Like, so, like, I just gave him, like, my montage of everybody laughing while Weird Al's White and Nerdy plays, like, in the background, like.
But the reason why I retweeted that is that because that person said, "I am from Samoa, an ally of China," and I find when he said Samoa,
And U.S. colony.
yeah.
What is American Samoa to you, bro?
American Samoa, U.S. Virgin Islands.
Yeah.
Like,
And
they
then,
even have the names there.
is he from American Samoa or Samoa proper? Who cares? But anyways, he said, and then when
they cannot be that different. They cannot be that
Yeah.
different.
Okay, well, when he said Samoa and China, it just triggered a memory where I remembered you tear him down. That's why I retweeted that thread of where you explained how China building whatever crap, I think they were fixing a port in Samoa, is not imperialism.
Sri Lanka, I think.
No, but your thread was about China and Samoa, right? North Sri Lanka.
No. The guy is from Samoa or like some of the Pacific Island, and it was over China's minimum wage and how. Because like the minimum wage in China is like $3 USD, but like almost nobody actually earns that wage. Everybody's like paid, like most people in China who work are paid much higher than that. And when you account for purchasing power parity, the Chinese minimum wage at $3 USD is actually about equivalent like to the US minimum wage. So surprisingly, these two countries with roughly similar size economies have a similar minimum wage. It's just that your dollar actually goes farther in China than it does in the United States. And unlike in China, where the minimum wage has increased over the last 50 years, adjusted for inflation and adjusted for inflation, all that, wages right now are 25% lower than they were comparatively in 1970.
Okay. Well, even in Russia, these days in Russian class, we are doing we're learning some economic terminology, and the wages have gone up way more than they have in the U.S.
Yeah, that's true for most places. Like, especially like what they refer to as the developing world is actually developing somehow. That's what's causing all the panic in the United States on the foreign policy front. Developing's supposed to be a euphemism. You're not supposed to actually develop.
They're saying Samoa is an independent state now. So it used to be Western Samoa, and I think was it the Brits that have them?
So is there no more American Samoa?
No, there's American Samoa. That's
okay.
There's an American Samoa and there's a country Samoa.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah. It's split. So
and how independent is non-American Samoa, like compared to, like, are they not a colony under name and they're just a neo-colony, or?
I don't know.
1997 is when
let's check. We can check. Let's make that a project for our next article, and we will check on that.
Learning about the outlying Pacific Islands, like, okay.
Yeah, let's make that a project. Okay. We should also have maybe we should have a project for this year for historically too, as like trying to invite people to teach us about history of the Pacific, various Pacific.
Yeah, I don't know anything about it, so.
Yeah, let's make that a project for this year for historically to learn about the Pacific.
That'll be fun.
I'm kind of liking this tree because I can like now hide behind it. If I don't,
I thought it was like nice to have a festive spirit, right? I opened that for Christmas, but then I don't want to take it off because it's so festive.
I mean, it's an evergreen tree with snow on it. It's going to be relevant until like March, in the United States at least.
Now
so.
for me.
It's snowing here too. I just realized that.
Let's keep it. Okay, so join us next week. Oh, I forgot. Sundays at 12:30 Eastern, 9:30 Pacific, 6:30 Zagreb time. We have our weekly call-in show that we will name officially pretty soon. So join us for that, where we go through some dumb articles about imperialism, like what mostly it's dumb New York Times articles, and we make fun of that. So join us for that. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah, and I'm gonna try to be on these streams more often.
Thank you. That would be great.
So okay, so yeah, you, I don't have anything coming up on Sunday, so I'm pretty sure I can do the call-in show too.
Awesome. Okay. So join us, and then Togo. Somebody said Togo. Hold on. Somebody said Yippernet to Togo, Fiji, Philippines. There's also Marshall Islands, Micronesia.
Togo's an island?
Yeah, Togo. I don't know if Togo's an island, but Togo's a country.
I thought. Well, it could be both, but like I thought Togo was in Africa.
No, Tonga. No. Togo is in Africa. Tonga is in the Pacific Islands.
Yeah. Tonga. Yeah, because they're the place that's like they've got like the highest rate of obesity on the planet because the U.S. ships uneaten turkey tails there, and it's become like a major like almost like a staple food, but it's like the most fattening, oily part of the turkey. It's not really the tail; it's specifically the turkey's oil gland. They're delicious, but they will make you fat. And
it's kind of sad that we are all USians and we don't even know all this stuff we call guys, right? You know what I'm saying? Like I should be able to.
Yeah, like my most of what I know about these islands like actually comes from my foodiness, like just like researching like you know, why is spam so popular in Guam and Hawaii? You know, that's a holdover from the U.S. military. Most of what we eat in the United States is a holdover from U.S. military experiments. Like all prepackaged frozen food derives from military rations.
Yep.
Weird. Okay, so there's Tonga, Fiji, Vanuatu, Micronesia, Marshall Islands, Solomon Islands. I'm forgetting something. Vanuatu. I said this.
You're just talking about South Pacific, or you're talking?
I don't know, all Pacific countries. Tonga, Micronesia, Marshall Islands, Solomon Islands, Vanuatu, Tuvalu, Nauru, Tuvalu, Nauru, New Zealand.
New Zealand does count when they remember to put it on a map.
Yeah, New Zealand. I'm forgetting one. I'm sure. Okay, we'll figure this out.
Hey, I actually can't tell you because, like, you remembered New Zealand counts for this, so like that was way better than I was doing.
Yeah. And then there's of course the decolonized islands, like that the Britain and America still own. So yeah,
like the Falklands. Does England still own the Falklands?
I think England gave up. They gave up a lot of stuff. I think Falklands was one. Like that was all.
No, I thought that was one that Thatcher like defended, quote unquote, valiantly.
We did an article about that. That belonged to Argentina, and what happened is that that's in the east coast actually of Argentina.
It's right off the coast. Well, is there a west coast of Argentina? I don't think so.
No, there is no west coast. There's only one coast of Argentina and Chile.
Right. Yeah. Man, I always have like 90% of the geography of South America exactly backwards. Like Argentina is never where I remember it being, no matter where I remember it being.
Okay, so just remember, if you take a flight on Brazil and just go south, you get Argentina.
Right. Yeah, and it's.
But you know what's
Aruba's in like the northern area, right?
It's in the Caribbean, but you know what's really weird?
No. Aruba's not in the Caribbean.
Yeah, Aruba is in the Caribbean. I think you're confusing it with Guyana.
No. There's a vacation spot in South America. Starts with an A.
Guyana? No. Okay.
Starts with an A. It's like Aruba. It's where Joran van der Sloot off Natalie Holloway and that brown girl whose name nobody remembers.
That is Aruba, but that's an island off the Caribbean.
Yeah, Aruba's off. Aruba, I visited Aruba before, so.
Oh, okay. But by the way, this is really interesting. Do you know that if you're in Caracas, you are close because of the way the equator is, how big the equator is. You are closer to Florida than you are to the to Sao Paulo.
Huh.
Yeah.
That seems right.
And I remember when I went to Colombia way back in the day, it only took it was a 3-hour or a 4-hour flight from Miami, but Brazil took like 8 hours.
Wow.
Yeah, and the west coast of Brazil is closer to Africa than it is to Peru. Yeah, South America, we have all our proportions all wrong because of it's
Oh,
not our fault. It's
well,
because
because
they did
I
that.
mean, the flag, not the flag, the map we use is so fucking stupid.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
it shows everything in backwards order, and everything's adjusted for the size to according to the spread of Christianity, not actual like
Yeah.
geographical proportions or locations.
Yeah.
Like Africa is like 5 times the size proportionally that it is on like any map that you see.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like Africa is much. Yeah, so yeah, it's
And
not
you
our
see,
fault.
like I didn't realize until like I was an adult that it was because everything was sized relative to the spread of Christianity per the request of some goddamn pope. But I knew it was I knew it was probably not like an accurate representation of the world, because even as a kid I thought, gee, that's kind of weird that every single bit of landmass is roughly the same fucking size.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
you know, that just seems weird to me. Like it all broke off into like 4 equal pieces.
Yeah.
First of all, the Vandersloot guy, he is serving time in Peru because of the other murder.
Okay.
So he's in Peru. He's in a
Yeah, he got away with the Holloway murder, but he's
So the
but,
second,
but he's
the
actually
second
serving
murder in
time
Peru?
for murdering the girl who's nobody remembers her name.
it's
Because
He murdered
racism.
somebody else in Peru, and now he's in jail in Peru for murdering somebody else.
Yeah,
Stephanie
but not
Flores.
Natalie Holloway. Yeah, Stephanie Morales.
Flores is who he murdered.
Flores,
and
okay.
That's who he's but the other thing is I think of it because I saw someone had a map upside down behind them, and I always think of that like it actually makes sense to me that
Was it Cody Johnston?
I don't know, it could be.
By the way, oh, guess what I bought? Yesterday I went to the Aurora Cruiser magazine and I bought myself a Soviet placard calendar.
Oh, that's awesome.
And
That's
and
nice.
this month it says Товарищи крестьяне, готовитесь к всей российской сельскохозяйственной и кустарно-промышленной выставке в Москве в августе-сентябре 1923 году. Okay. And it says, comrades, cousins, get ready for the all Russia farm product exhibition in Moscow between August and September of 1923.
I love that their propaganda was like, hey, let's grow stuff. Hey, here's these big ears of corn. Here's, we're growing all this stuff. And our propaganda
Become a
was
scientist.
red scare, bad, red, bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, our propaganda is a black man kissing a white woman inside a Star of David with a hammer and sickle at top. Like,
Somebody said a giant carrot. Lukashenko would love that. Yeah, he gave Steven Seagal like a bag of carrots for his birthday or something.
All right. I just know the corn because I have a history of corn, so.
Okay,
I love. It's the only thing I like about Khrushchev are all the pictures of him, like with his absolute fetish for corn. The dude loved corn.
Corn is yummy. I like corn. Who doesn't like corn?
Yeah, it's fine. I mean, I like corn on the cob. I like things made from corn. I don't unless it's like super fresh. I don't really eat a lot of corn.
No, mine is from me using it to meme people with corn. But
in India, you have like this really cool grilled corn where they put it on a barbecue.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's really good.
Yeah, that's good. I always wondered, like, since the band Korn has their logo stylized with a backwards R, if like the first time they ever did a Russian tour, like, what the fuck is a koyan, man? Why is everybody yelling koyan at us? Because the backwards R in Russia is how you pronounce
that's
that.
right.
For anybody who doesn't know, so like when you write koyan, why? I'm just picturing Jonathan Franzen like shaking his fucking fist, like.
Miguel is saying that Aruba is a neo-colony of the U.S., even though it is an actual colony of the Dutch. I would agree because I was just there in 2017. And yeah, I do agree with that.
Okay. Oh, it's called The Sweat of the Gods from Ancient Peru. Okay. So with that, I think we will see you guys next week, same time, same place.
Sounds good.
Svobodu Naro, and we will get our theme song fixed. Svobodu Narodu Smrti Fascismo.
Slavo Lenino.